Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. It's been a while since I've done one of these things, but I thought I'd break the news here. Now, some of you may not have been made aware, but this actually broke about maybe, I'll say about 20 minutes ago, or maybe 15 to say the least. All right, now, this is according to Mike Coppinger via, Michael Benson via Mike Coppinger. It's now been reported that Robert Garcia has been hired to take the lead or to be the lead trainer for Anthony Joshua's upcoming rematch against Alexander Usyk on July 23rd in Saudi Arabia. And by the way, we still haven't gotten an official announcement for that fight yet, as Eddie Hearn did promise that that was going to take place last week when he gave an interview with the BBC. But, you know, it's not surprising. Let's just hope for the better that we do get an official announcement this week, because if we don't, then we'll have to start asking, raising questions and concerns once again. Anyhow, you would think that maybe Adrian Fernandez was going to take the lead, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Hiring Robert Garcia, I think. Look, let me just start off say this: I have all the admiration and respect for Robert Garcia with his experience and his knowledge. He's been around boxing for, I would say, nearly 30 years or more. He's been around the game for a very, very long time. Okay, but there are 3 red flags about this hiring that needs to be addressed. One is that Robert Garcia fighters are usually not the well-conditioned fighters at all. They're poorly conditioned for the most part. Number 2 is that he doesn't have experience training heavyweights. I know the argument is going to say, well, what about Ben Davison? He didn't have experience training heavyweights when he trained Tyson Fury. Yeah, that is a fair argument to be made, but it's still a question that needs to be raised. It's another red flag. It's the second red flag that needs to be raised, I should say. The third one, I think, in my opinion, is one of the most important one, is that typically Robert Garcia fighters are not the most defensively sound fighters at all. And the one thing about Anthony Joshua, the wrinkle in his game, is that sometimes his defense is in question. So I'm not sure if Robert Garcia is going to be the guy who's up for the job. Now, the one thing I would say is that Robert Garcia could light some type of fire and bring back some of the passion, the hunger, and the aggressiveness that Joshua was missing for quite some time. After the Andy Ruiz loss, that is, the first fight, that is. So maybe that's why he was brought on board, to make Joshua be more aggressively sound, as you want to call it. But the problem with that is that I don't think that's going to work against Alexander Usyk. I really don't think it's going to work against him. Now, it can, but he has one shot at making that aggression work, is to get Usyk out in the first 4 rounds. Because if he doesn't get him out in the first 4 rounds, he's losing that fight. Plain and simple. Joshua's losing that fight. Obviously, you cannot outbox the guy. That's not going to work. So I guess, again, this is probably the reason why Joshua hired Robert Garcia to take the lead, to help bring back the aggressiveness that he once had. But to me, this is a red flag, if it's true. But then again, this is coming from Mike Coppinger. Does take it as a grain of salt. But then again, Mike Coppinger does have his source of information does come from Eddie Hearn, from the looks of it. So let me know what you guys think about this. Good hiring, bad hiring. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm out.